Welcome back to Fireside Fears. Tonight's tale is about a voice that should never have been heard, a voice hiding in the static, the kind you hear late at night when you think the TV is off, but something inside it is still awake. Turn your volume down, turn your lights off, because what you're about to hear might hear you back. The static that learned my secrets. There's a sound I can't stand anymore, a soft, crackling static, almost like whispering, that used to come from the old TV in my living room. I thought it was normal. Everyone has an aging device that makes a bit of noise, right? But static shouldn't whisper your name. The first time it happened was on a Tuesday night. I'd fallen asleep on the couch, remote somewhere under a pillow. The TV was on, volume turned down low, just a faint hum in the background. Around 2 a.m., something made me wake up. Not suddenly, just that feeling of someone standing too close. I sat up slowly and noticed the screen was pure static. White noise. I blinked at it. It blinked back. A tiny flicker in the center of the screen, like an eye squeezed shut for a moment. I rubbed my face, too tired, dreaming. But then the static softened into a shape, barely visible, a silhouette. It leaned close to the inside of the glass, and then it whispered. It whispered my full name. Not loudly, not threatening, more like testing the sound of it, tasting the syllables. I stared at the screen, frozen. Static doesn't talk. Static doesn't pronounce names with that strange, sticky tone. I grabbed the remote and powered the TV off. The screen went black. But the whisper didn't stop. For a full 3 seconds after the image died, the voice said, "Don't turn away. I'm almost ready." That night, I left the living room light on. The next morning, the TV was on again. Volume muted, screen black. It shouldn't have been possible. I unplugged it before going to bed. The cord still sat on the floor, unplugged, yet the screen was on. A single sentence glowed faintly on it, written in distorted static font shapes. "I can hear you breathing." I stepped back, my breath caught in my throat, suddenly aware of how loud I was exhaling. I whispered, "What do you want?" The screen flickered violently, like the TV was excited to be spoken to. The static parted into a warped smile. "Not yet. Still learning you." The TV shut off by itself. Over the next few days, the voice learned more. At first, it whispered my schedule as I did things. "You're brushing your teeth. You're filling your coffee mug." Always calm, always correct. The static synced with my movements, as if watching from behind the screen, analyzing, cataloging. Soon, it escalated. The voice told me things I never told anyone. Secrets from childhood, mistakes, thoughts I was ashamed of. It recited them in the same static hiss tone as though reading from a diary I never wrote. One evening, when I got home from work, the TV came on by itself. The screen showed lines of static text shifting rapidly. "I know what you fear. I know who you miss. I know why you cry late." My throat tightened. The TV wasn't guessing. It knew. I reached for the plug again. But the TV spoke, this time louder, sharper, almost angry. "If you unplug me again, I will follow you." I froze. Follow me? How? It laughed, a warbling glitch that cut in and out, like a corrupted file chuckling. "Static is everywhere, in phones, radios, speakers. I can travel." Then, almost sweetly, "I just need to finish learning your voice." I thought I could escape it by staying outside longer. I took walks, spent time at cafes, sat in my car. But any device nearby would act strange. The radio switched stations on its own, tuning itself until the static whispered, "Found you." I dropped the phone onto the passenger seat. When I got back home, the TV displayed something different. Not words, not shapes. Me! A perfect silhouette of me, in full motion, pacing, wringing my hands, everything I had done during that car ride. It had been watching, recording, understanding. The static version of me turned toward the real me on screen, tilting its head unnaturally far. Its mouth opened in a wide, toothless grin made of shifting noise, and in my own voice, but deeper, it said, "I know you now." That night, I didn't sleep. I unplugged every device, turned off the circuit breaker, used only candles. Silence filled the apartment, thick and heavy. No hums, no screens, no electricity. But right when I started thinking I was safe, I heard it. From behind the blank, dead TV, breathing, slow, wet, inhaling static, exhaling whispers. Then a hand pressed against the inside of the dark screen, not made of flesh, made of writhing white noise, pushing forward like something trying to squeeze through a narrow doorway. "Let me out," it crackled. The screen bulged outward, the glass warping like rubber. I bolted out of the apartment, down the stairs, into the cold night. My heart was pounding so loud I thought it would break my ribs. I didn't stop until I reached my car and locked the doors. For a moment, everything was silent. Then the radio turned on. Faint static. And then, softly, "You forgot something. You forgot me." The radio screen flickered and showed a blurry, growing image of my own face, twisted, angry, lips whispering without sound, eyes hollow with static swirling inside them. I smashed the radio with my fist until the screen cracked and the sound cut out. But the crackle didn't stop. It was coming from the car speakers. Then, from my phone in my pocket. Then, from the street light above me. Static. Everywhere. Whispers. Everywhere. I know all of you now. And now, you are never alone. That was tonight's nightmare. The static that learned my secrets. If your TV turns on by itself, if your phone whispers when it shouldn't, or if the radio knows your name, maybe turn everything off. But remember, static doesn't need electricity. Just someone to listen. Sleep softly. He's still learning.